y'all, welcome back. Today is FJORDS Fest, and I have to apologize in advance because I think that if I really had to take a guess at what happened, it would be that I decluttered a whole bunch of stuff because it was super expired like a gross amount of time. Way too long. I've had these for so long. Expired, like super expired. And there just haven't been that many companies putting out FJORDS-y colors in the last couple of years. And so my collection is pretty thin. I don't think this is gonna take that long for us to go through all of my FJORDS-y shades. So if you are new here, if you have no idea what FJORDS Fest is, this is FJORDS Fest 2024. We didn't have a FJORDS Fest 2023 because I was waiting for my collection with Finding Ferdinand to come out before we did it, and it just kind of took longer than I expected it to. So as you see, I am your favorite reflective surface at the moment where I don't have anything other than complexion product and some lip gloss on. This is Cafe Noisette on my lips, but I am reserving the rest of my face so that we can swatch all of these blushes. The idea being that these are all the kinds of shades that provide a natural looking wind-chapped flush for multiple skin tones. This is a really good example of when we deep dive, get in the weeds on color theory. Color theory is my thing. It's something that I've been passionate about my entire life. I have an art degree, I have a cosmetology license, and I just feel like it's something that's so important to put into terms that like everyone can use so that you can make your makeup work for you. So in this case, the FJORDS of it all, in order child running through the FJORDS, it was something that I just said off the cuff years and years ago, and it became kind of a meme on my channel, but it's meant to mean the natural wind-chapped kind of cheek color. And so we're gonna swatch them all over my face, and I'm gonna talk about the nuanced differences between them. And that's how we do FJORDS Fest. That's how we do my face swatching videos in general. So let's go ahead and jump in. Yeah, FJORDS Fest 24 is like the chillest FJORDS Fest we've had, and I'm going to start with my Finding Ferdinand blushes so that you can just see them on my forehead, and then we'll compare everything else to that. So if you didn't watch the reveal video, there are 3 mauve blushes that are meant to work for multiple skin tones. There's like a light, medium, and deep, and then there are adjuster shades to really achieve the more rich wind-chapped look. And so I will start with the 3 kind of base shades. So here we have Sunrise. This is very much my mauvey pink. I can wear any of them, but like this is the one that goes on seamlessly. It's so chill. It's just really, really easy for me to wear. And while anybody could get use out of it, it's not super, super white. It is very much going to be the most flattering on fair skin. So you can see like, in order to even like broaden the scope enough to like fill the video, I am including not just things that give you like a ruddy complexion. I mean, we're talking about something that's just basically a cool rose pink right now. Then we have High Noon. Sorry, this is a review if you already watched the video, but you get to see them again. So that's our medium mauve. The same undertones, just more intense, more pigmented. And then we have Dusk, which is the deepest of the 3. And the formula is a little bit different than it was before. It's a little bit more stable, and I think it's going to work for more skin types now because it's not quite so melty buttery. And that's because we needed it to be more stable when it shipped to places where it was more extreme in temperature. So those are our 3 base shades. And then I have Chilled and Cozy, which are the 2 adjuster shades. Cozy is a very unapologetic, cool purple. And that's gonna be in this like much less pigmented formula that is meant to go sheerly on top and build as much as you want. I've also seen a few people who've gotten the PR packages so far apply them alone. I saw Holly apply Cozy, which is this one right here, on its own, and she has red hair, you know, and a freckled complexion, fair freckled complexion. It looked amazing on her. And then my friend Steph, who has olive undertones and medium skin, she applied Chilled, and it looked freaking incredible. Like I messaged her and I was like, this is the most validating thing I have ever seen. Like you just made my whole day. So there is Cozy. And Cozy, also my friend Ted, Buffalo Beauty Boy, sent me this video. He was like, Kackie Marie, everything turns purple on me. How did you make this beautiful natural flushed shade that doesn't turn purple on me? And you know, he was already wearing it, and like it's this. So that candy apple kind of pinky red is not always my like #1 shade that looks good on me, but there are complexions that this is, like I said, like a fair redheaded complexion or any of those kind of undertones that tend to go a little bit more pink. This is going to flatter, and also it's meant to be layered on top of any of these to adjust. And honestly, when I put that on top, it looks fantastic. You know, it's a really easy one to wear when I have one of these underneath it. And that's what they're meant to do. But the way that I've been seeing people wearing them has just really reflected the versatility to me. I love seeing people use it their own way and it work, you know? It's just really, it's really nice after putting so much work in. So those are my Finding Ferdinand shades, and you can also see like what the scope is really, and that's not even the full scope of what we can call a fjord shade, because there are so many skin tones to take into consideration, so many undertones, in order to achieve something that is going to give a natural flush. So I want to go in with these two YSL blushes next. These are I'll wait. So I want to go in with these two YSL cream blushes next. These are the new Lip and Cheek Balmy Tint, and I have new Flush and new Chills. So you can see this one's quite red and this one's quite berry colored. I didn't own this one until recently. New Flush. I mean, obviously the names really lend themselves to what it is that we're doing here today. So I will put new Flush over here. They are not quite as nuanced in shade, but they also have a similar amount of opacity to my adjuster shades. I find that they go on really, really sheerly. And so they're nice to layer with. It's not my favorite formula in the world. It is a little bit kind of lip balmy. It's like they really went for the lip and cheek factor, and it does feel a little bit more lip balmy than a multi-stick or something like that. And so you can see it's quite dewy. It kind of has a little bit of like a lip gloss feel to it. And it's just a matter of like adjusting your expectations. Again, it's not my absolute favorite formula in the world, but I do really like them. I think that they're fun. And they're very beginner friendly because they're pretty low pigment. And then we have new Chills, which again is just a really nice berry color. You can see it is more purple than Dusk and more red than the adjuster shade Chilled. So it's somewhere in the middle of all those. Honestly, when I put this one on me, it looks very pink, like very, very pink. You can see it in one of my Instagram reels around when Barbie came out. They sent it when Barbie came out because it goes quite pink. So it's very pretty, has the same formula like I said. For its sheerness, it's giving like a very like straight down the middle kind of jam color. If you want it to achieve this particular color, you probably want to use it on a cool skin tone, but it's also going to counterbalance and look really beautiful on olive skin tones. Anything that kind of has that purple to it will. And on me, like I said, it just goes quite pink. All right, next I have this multi-stick that I decided to keep in my declutter. This is from Amico. I bought a couple of shades in this and the other one just didn't work for me. But this one is kind of an example of when you talk about like a ruddy complexion, like it's kind of a rust color, and it's hard to find a really good rust colored blush, but like I think that might be my next project because I have a feeling like summertime, I'm gonna be moving into like rust territory. So either way, I think that this, yeah, that's a really, it's like totally off the beaten path as we've done so far here, but like that applied on the right skin tone is going to give you a very believable kind of wind chapped look, believe it or not. It's actually kind of a more neutral way to approach it. It looks beige next to these, but it is pretty rich in pigment because Amico is a brand that makes products that can be worn on very deep skin tones, and so they tend to be more pigment rich. That's why I got rid of the other one. It was like too much. Next I have, this is honestly one of my favorite cream blushes, and Merit, you know, they don't always win me over, but they have more hits than misses for me, and this is definitely a hit. So this is the Flush Balm Cheek Color in Mood. Look at that. Look at that. So like you can almost see how like if you mix those two together, you'd get this. It still has that kind of rusty, ruddy thing to it. It's just a really dialed in kind of wine color with almost, I don't want to say like no purple, but it's like there's just a lot less blue in it than you kind of get into over here. And I just feel like this is, it's really, really balanced for my skin tone. And it's nice to be able to kind of adjust with these. I can still achieve that, but this is just like a really easy, intuitive shade on neutral skin, basically. Like I highly recommend that for a neutral skin tone. All right, next let's get into the blonzers. So in my declutter, I mentioned that I was holding on to these for relevance sake. Relevancy's sake? It's all of the Bare Minerals blonzers. They're very richly pigmented, and I found that the two new shades, Kiss of Spice and Kiss of Mauve, like didn't apply as easily as I remembered the other ones applying. I don't know, it just might be my imagination, but they're really skippy. Either way, this is exactly why I saved them, is because I want to be able to swatch them and they're not expired. So let's start with Kiss of Mauve because it's the one that I pulled out first. boop. These are powders, but they're very, very intensely pigmented powders. They're also quite creamy feeling. They almost feel like eyeshadows. So this one has a little bit of a shift to it. You can see, by the way, y'all, to the best of my abilities, I don't know what I did. I cannot find Hanky Panky from RMS to save my skin. I don't know what I did with it. I don't know where I put it. So it's very, very similar to this though. And I love it a lot and I'm really sad. I hope I come across it. And here we have Kiss of Spice, which, you know, this is more of a bronzer, but here we are. We're just here. Let's do it. Yeah. A lot of times when I make these videos, I preface it by saying some of the things I pull, we will find as I swatch them on my face, do not belong in the category. And that is the case with Kiss of Spice, but it's worth swatching and I have the room on my face today. Then we have Kiss of Pink. It is the fairest of the initial release. So there was Kiss of Pink, Kiss of Copper, and Kiss of Rose. Kiss of Pink is this one right here. And you can see, I mean, you could argue you could get kind of a fjordsy color out of it. Sort of reminds me of Sunrise, but it is not in and of itself going to give you like that wind chapped look. Now you get into Kiss of Rose, this very much will. Like this is very, look how rich. Oh my goodness. And the shimmer, there's so much shimmer in that one, so much more than Kiss of Pink. I feel like that also lends itself well to kind of like spreading out and being multi-dimensional on the cheek. And it does give you a more, it's not natural, but like a more enhanced, richer appearance to your cheek. Like you can make a subtle fjords cheek, but a fjords cheek is really supposed to be kind of like your cheeks being the star of the show. And then finally we have Kiss of Copper. Boop, 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 boop. Yep. And she is copper. I would say that the two that really qualify here are Kiss of Mauve and Kiss of Rose. But it's worth swatching them together because I feel like some of the names don't really give you the idea of what they actually look like on the skin. You'd think that pink and rose would be the same and they're very not. You'd think that mauve and rose would not be the same, but they're quite similar. And you'd think that copper would be this, but copper is actually quite orange. So there you go. There's your visual reference. And I'm starting to look like an owl. I always end up looking like an owl. A superb owl, if you will. I have here, this is such a good example of a fjords shade. This is the No. 1 de Chanel. Oh, Lord in heaven. It's just Berry Boost. It is the Red Camellia Revitalizing Lip and Cheek Balm. Wow, I just won the Olympics of trying to read tiny text on a low contrast background. That was just like, I pushed myself to my VO2 max for that one. So either way, Berry Boost is the name of this. And I like this formula enough that I have bought 3 of them, but it is also really embracing the lip and cheek of it all, the lip of the lip and cheek. You know, like she's a balmy, but wow, what a pretty color. Very, very similar to, what was that one? Was that New Chills? I think that's New Chills. Yeah, super, super similar to New Chills from YSL and also really similar in formula. I'm not gonna call it the most special formula in the world. It's just Chanel, you know? And so it's like if I like a color in something from Chanel, I'm like, well, might as well buy it because I just like Chanel, you know? And it doesn't have scent either, which is nice. But if you are someone who likes a lip and cheek to actually function as a lip and cheek, the Chanel and the YSL do a really good job of it. I'm like really sad that I have to wipe this off because I love this complexion combination. It doesn't take any time to do it, but like I loved it when I put it on. I'm so into this. The About Face foundation, I am so into it. So I used this in the Tower 28 and I just feel like it erased all my sins. All of them. I was just like, dang, I just want to keep going and put on regular makeup. I don't want to put swatches all over my face, but it's also, again, very repeatable. All right, I have four Rare Beauty blushes that I feel like apply in this case. I might have given a lot of these away. I'm sure that there are some that have more of like the rusty ready appearance to them, but here I have kind of the mauves. Do I have any dupes here? Ah, I do. I have 2 Believes, so I actually have 3. So we have Encourage. Ooh, yes. That's so pretty. So this is like the world's most pigmented formula. Okay, that's just how it's kind of become known on TikTok and everything, is everybody going, oh my God, it's so pigmented. And like, that's either appealing to you or it's not, but you will never run out of it. That's a plus. They'll bury it with you. But here we have Believe. Boop, 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 boop. Wow, those are similar. What was the other one? Encourage and Believe, very similar. Encourage is a little lighter and a little less purple, and Believe is a little darker and a little more purple. And they do dry down completely. And then we have, oh my God, I only have 2. I have 2 Encourages and 2 Believe. So there we go. They're really pretty. I'll give them that, but they're really, really similar. But like, I prefer like their coral shades and stuff like that. Like this isn't really the formula I'd go to for a Fjords cheek because I want to be able to like build it slowly, and that's just not what these do. That's just not what these do. You gotta be sure. Gotta be sure what you're about to do. Virtue is still my favorite though. Okay, I pulled 3, and I promise they're all different colors this time, 3 Phyto Surgents Skin Sparks. So I have here Fume. These are not from like the new collection. These are gonna be sort of the older shades, I think, because like he's had several iterations, but these are not the like super gray ones. So that's Fume. That's kind of the coolest one that he had before he came out with the Toasted collection, which is like very unabashedly like desaturated and almost gray. And then we have Inferno, which I feel like is just an epic example of like a rusty color that's going to give you, oh my goodness, that like desert cheek, you know? It's not just about running through the fjords, sometimes it's about being wind chapped in a different climate, you know? And that's what these are giving. Oh, I kind of just want to combine those two, like on my face. That just would be so pretty. Like, be mindful though, because it can go really red on you. If things tend to go red on you, that's something that's going to go red on you, you know, as you spread it out. And then we have Sublimate, which is another one that really gives this beautiful, like deep berry rust color. Oh my God. Yeah. It's even deeper and more cool, I want to say, which makes it appear more brown than red. Just so pretty. Woo. Okay, next we have the Lip and Cheek Stick from Jones Road, and this is in the shade Tawny Nude, but Tawny Nude is decidedly berry colored. It doesn't look really very tawny or nude, does it? No, it's quite berry colored. It goes right in line with all of these. So it's a misnomer, but it's a beautiful color. It's a really nice formula too. It's very, very pretty. I just don't reach for it as much because I just, the name doesn't match the color. I would think it would be much more like this. This is Tawny Nude to me. That's straight up mauve. And so I think that I've always kind of been surprised when I put it on. I'm like, well, that's not what I thought it was gonna be, you know, but it's a really pretty color. All right, we have 2 Skin Mimetic Micro Suede blushes from Make Beauty that I thought kind of applied in this case, and they're both quite purple. It's a very pretty formula. Make Beauty does a fantastic job with their powder formulas. Their bronzer, their powder, their blushes, even these new eyeshadows. I just feel like they do a really fantastic job of making products that are very easy to use. They apply really easily, but they have great tenacity on the skin, and especially their complexion products. Oh my gosh. Like, you know, not the eyeshadows. They go on without skipping and without stamping. It looks like cream when it goes on. It's awesome. They're really, really awesome. So yeah, naturally, I think that these are lovely. And then we have Galactic, woo, woo. So if you're very, very olive skin toned or quite deep, that might be used to achieve a bit of a Fjords cheek, but it's a little extreme. All right, and I'm sorry that, like, I feel like we had a lot more before, but I will just have to make an effort now to collect some more Fjords shades this season. But the last one I have, and I think it's still available in the EU, but this is the fall collection from Chanel. This is their Equinox Harmony blushes, Blush Harmony, and this is in the mauve shade, and it's bananas. It's the best, so. Ooh, it smells so nice. We're gonna just do one of these. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Look at her. Oh my gosh. She's just so cool toned. It's just a beautiful powder formula. If you got your hands on it, good for you. It's just so nice. It's super cool toned. And you can see it even goes a little bit kind of brown on me because it's so cool that it's actually counteracting, like working against a little bit of like the yellow in my undertones, and it's like muddying a little bit in the best way possible. It's just a fantastic product if you can get your hands on it. I had to get rid of my Patrick Ta. I had to get rid of my Thrive. I had to get rid of my Natasha Denona. I mean, let me know if y'all want me to rebuy these things or if we should just leave them in the past and move on. But those are the Fjordsy shades in my collection right now, and you get to see them up against my current collection from Finding Ferdinand. I believe this video is going to go out on the same day as when we launch the products, which is just so exciting. The products are really exciting. Launching products for y'all is so exciting. I want to thank y'all for already just the very, very positive feedback that I'm getting about the collection. I'm just so excited that y'all are excited. You know, I'm incredibly grateful to you, and I hope that a super chill Fjords Fest is okay with y'all this year. So, oh, and I guess the last thing I have to do is take a big brush and rub these all over my face. That's what I typically do with Fjords Fest, is I just, so enjoy the way that this looks right now. And now I'm going to take a cream brush and smear them all over my face. Usually it's the 105 brush. I don't know where my 105 brush is from BK. I will have to unearth it, but I'm just gonna use this one that I got in PR. It's clean, so that's cool. Do that, LFG.
Nope, that didn't look right. So we're just gonna skip that part.
Anyway, y'all, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you wanna keep hanging out with me on this channel, cool people subscribe. You should subscribe if you're cool. It'd be cool if you did. And I'll put a video up here that I think that you're going to enjoy if you liked this one. Thank y'all so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.